creation of abnormal cells that grow beyond their usual boundaries and which can then invade adjoining parts of the body and spread to other organs. This process is referred to as metastasis. Metastases are the major cause of death from cancer. Cancer is a leading cause of death worldwide. The disease accounted for 7.9 million deaths, or around 13% of all deaths in 2007. About 72% of all cancer deaths in that year occurred in low and middle-income countries. Deaths from cancer worldwide are projected to continue rising, with an estimated 12 million deaths in 2030. Cancer arises from one single cell. The transformation from a normal cell into a tumor cell is a multi-stage process, typically a progression from a precancerous lesion to malignant tumors. These changes are the result of the interaction between a person's genetic factors and three categories of external agents, including physical carcinogens such as ultraviolet and ionizing radiation, chemical carcinogens such as asbestos, components of tobacco smoke, aflatoxin, a food contaminant, and arsenic, a drinking water contaminant. Biological carcinogens such as infections from certain viruses, bacteria, or parasites. Some examples of infections associated with certain cancers are hepatitis B and liver cancer, human papillomavirus (HPV) and cervical cancer, and human immunodeficiency virus (HIV) and Kaposi sarcoma. Also Helicobacter pylori and gastric cancer. Aging is another fundamental factor for the development of cancer. The incidence of cancer rises dramatically with age, most likely due to a buildup of risk for specific cancers that increase with age. The overall risk accumulation is combined with the tendency for cellular repair mechanism to be less effective as a person grows older. Specifically, tobacco use, alcohol use, low fruit and vegetable intake, and infection from hepatitis B, hepatitis C, and human papillomavirus are leading risk factors for cancer in low.
Thanks for staying with us. Welcome to News Track on Channels Television. I'm Joke Rogers.
And I'm Olumide Macaulay. A very warm welcome to you. Here are the stories we're tracking for you this hour. The expanded meeting convened by the federal government to look at the security situation in Nigeria has kicked off in the presidential villa with the president presiding. The meeting has a fuller house as against what happened last week, as many of the governors from the opposition parties are present. Those who could not make it are being represented by their deputies.
Well, the service chiefs, the Sultan of Sokoto, Saad Abubakar III, and the president of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Pastor Ayo Oritse Jafo, are also in attendance. Our correspondent, Chukuma Onekwusi, reports.
The primary purpose of government is the protection of lives and property of the citizens. And so it has become necessary that those that Nigerians have voted into power drop their political differences and protect the lives of the people that voted them into power, especially bearing the insecurity situation in the land. First to arrive is the governor of Anambra State, who was closely followed by the governor of Abia State. The deputy governor of Jigawa State, the governor of Zamfara State followed. Now, Zamfara is one of the APC governors, and this is what he said when we took him up on the agenda for the meeting. He seems to be optimistic that they will come up with something positive.
The leaders, stakeholders that trusted by the people to be on board to man their leadership, I believe we put our head together, we come with something positive.
Other governors who joined immediately include the governor of Bayelsa State, the governor of Ebonyi State, the governor of Benue, the deputy governor of Plateau State, the governor of Kwara State, and his Delta State counterpart came at the same time and shared the same optimism that they will present a common front because the security situation in the land affects everyone.
It obviously has to be a common front. That's the only way we can succeed.
This is not a party thing. This is not a political issue. It's an issue that affects all Nigerians, irrespective of party affiliation.
This is a national issue. What kind of front do we expect rather than a common front? It's a national issue.
Now, this is the council chambers where the expanded meeting is taking place. The choice of the council chambers is because that is the only venue that can contain the number of people that have been invited for the meeting. Invitation was also extended to the Sultan of Sokoto and the president of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Pastor Orise Jafo. The president joined them moments later into the council chambers, and the meeting is ongoing. No one knows how long they are going to be in here, but Nigerians are hoping that by the time they finish with this meeting, they will come up with solutions that will end the insecurity in the land. Chukwuma Onwepusi, Channels Television News.
The war of words between the presidency and the governor of Adamawa State, Murtala Nyako, is far from over, as the federal government has described as irresponsible the opinion the governor holds regarding the rising level of insurgency in the northeast. The Minister of Information, Mr. Labaran Maku, told journalists yesterday that the governor, who was a former chief of naval staff, should know better. According to Mr. Maku, the war against terrorism should be fought on a united front, and warned Nigerians to desist from making statements that could tear the country apart.
If only Nigerians maybe understand and appreciate that as we sit in this hall, our soldiers, our security people are out there in the bush, sleeping in the bush day and night, and getting killed sometimes in the course of maintaining security for this country. These days, what we see is that almost every person, who has little knowledge about how security services are rendered will just open their mouth, and make statements that create panic in the country. And this is really very, very unfortunate. To hear the kind of thing being said by the governor of Adamawa State, at this period. And Nyako is a former chief of naval staff. He's a soldier that has wore uniform before. For him to publicly incite the public against the security forces of this country is the height of irresponsibility. And I believe that for someone like that, who is old enough to appreciate the kind of plight that this country is going through, we expect that there should be greater understanding. Politics aside, when people reach a certain age, it should temper, their utterances, the kind of thing that they're supposed to say. Maybe younger people like you and me may say certain things, you say, okay, maybe it's lack of experience. But for people that have known the difficulty this country is going through and the kind of effort that's been done by the federal government to be coming out to make those statements that divide the country, even at a point we need national unity and national healing, is grossly irresponsible.
Nigeria's Minister of Information, Mr. Labaran Maku, was staying with the war on insurgency, while some youth in Plateau State, Nigeria's north-central region, have asked the federal government and security agencies to redouble their efforts as the youth are the most vulnerable group to the attacks. Speaking on behalf of Youth Network for Peace and Good Governance in Jos, Mr. Andoma Tor is appealing to security agents to also speed up the rescue mission of abducted students of Government Girls Secondary School in Chibok, Borno State, as the nation awaits positive results from the operation.
We salute the actions of the little